Well, hello there, my Aries collective sun, moon, rising signs. How you doing? I'm back from my Saratoga getaway, back at Elysia, what I call my home here in Holbrook, Long Island. I am your reader for the moment. I'm Drawing the Circle Productions president, Mark Angelo Lyons, the Mark Angel of Lyons, Lyons. Here to do your What Do I Need reading for this new moon to full moon next October 2019, obviously into November, considering the new moon is on a Sunday, right? It's the last Sunday of the month. So we're going to get down to business. For my subscribers, welcome back. Thank you so much for subscribing. Yay! My numbers have been growing, and you know, like we got a whole bunch in one day. It was very exciting. It happened while I was visiting my parents. I was like, look, they're like, oh, we're so happy for you. It was nice. It was a nice moment. If you're new to my channel, I read a little bit differently than a lot of other readers, but then again, it's an art form. Everybody does it a little bit differently according to our experience and our nervous systems, really. I am a clairvoyant empathic. So please like and subscribe if it clicks, and even if it doesn't, it might just not be your read. You know, that's why I do Sun, Moon, Rising for these. Usually these are quickies. We'll see. I'm using 5 different decks for this series, so we'll see how long that goes. I'm shooting for around 20 minutes. Not really a quickie. So, you know, check your other signs. If this isn't your reading, it isn't your reading. If it does not click intuitively, it's not yours. Like, no reason to get upset. So, because people do. It's like, hey, reading thousands, hundreds of thousands of people in the collective. So we're going to pull one card from 5 different decks. All the decks are in the description box below, along with a whole bunch of different links that you can look at, particularly how to book me for a reading. I can do Skype and Facebook Messenger. You just add me as a friend on Facebook. You don't even actually have to add me as a friend on Facebook. You just need to message me. And then we do a video chat, and it looks just like this, except usually I pull the camera a little bit closer. Cool. So let's dive in. We're going to start with one archetype card from the Caroline Myss archetype deck for the dominant archetype for you in this new moon to full moon next, something that you can alchemize and work towards, from the lead to the gold, from the shadow to the light. So the decks have all been blessed. As I do, it's sort of like a great way to warm up, particularly for Aries. So let's take a deep breath, call in your guides, your gods, your masters, your higher self, all that. And here we go. My Pantheon. Hey, my Pantheon, please. One card in clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign for this new moon to full moon next. What do they need? What is the archetype that they need to focus on for this waxing moon cycle for October into November? Please, a card of clarity. What is their dominant archetype? We've got the student archetype. Now what I'm going to do, you see there's writing on that card, right? I'm going to read that once all of them are down. I just find that easier. Let's get all the symbols on the table, and then I can go in. Because then the next deck we're going to do is the Healing with the Angels Oracle, Doreen Virtue. Blessed be. My angels, please, one card in clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign for this new moon to full moon next. What do they need? We've got the student archetype, so give us a celestial overview, my angels, please. One card of clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign, this new moon to full moon next. Power, so a student of power. I think that calls for a sip of coffee. In my spiral goddess coffee mug. Let's ask the gods. We're using the Daughters of the Moon Tarot, my absolute favorite tarot deck. Oh, I love this one so much. And no reversals for this. I'm saving the reversals for extended reads and big ones. This is kind of a quickie. Actually, we're buzzing through pretty quick. About halfway through, at least with the dealing of the cards, right? So my gods, please, one card in clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign for this new moon to full moon next. What do they need? We've got the archetype of the student in its light and its shadow. We've got the angel card of power. So my gods, what say you? What do they need this new moon to full moon next? Ooh, the card of revelation and celebration would be considered the card of judgment. Okay, we'll go into that in a bit. The Masters, the Chuck Spezzano Love Pack. Baby Love Pack. Love Pack. Please, my masters, one card of clarity, in clarity, for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need for this new moon to full moon next, please? One card of clarity. We've got the student archetype. We've got the angel card of power. We've got the tarot card of judgment, celebration, revelation. So if you're done with plievation, you can do revelation. Revelation. My masters, what do they need for this new moon to full moon next? Intimacy. 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 Focus. Yeah, my lighting's a little too bright. Oh well. I'll fix it for Taurus. I just have to move the lamp back a little bit. And our fifth and final draw, we are doing Whispers of Love Tarot for the voices of the higher selves of all involved. My higher self, your higher self, even though I'm not an Aries, nothing. Well, I have Saturn in Aries, but yeah, that's about it. So part of the Yod in my chart. So please, the higher selves of all involved. One card in clarity, Whisper of Love for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising sign. What do they need for this new moon to full moon next? Considering we've got the student from the collective pantheons, we've got the card of power from the angels, we've got the card of celebration, revelation, the judgment card, and we've got the card of intimacy from the master. So the higher selves of all involved, what do they need? Be willing to express love, which goes with intimacy, certainly. So we're going to start with the student, right? We're going to put these pieces of the puzzle together because this does make a certain sense, considering student of power, something is being revealed through intimacy and be willing to express love. So that is something really good to work on in terms of a waxing cycle, right? Start at new moon saying, all right, I'm kind of completing something here. It's that time of year. Oh my God, we're so close to Samhain. I can feel the gates of the underworld. I can feel them already in the underworld. Live there pretty much year round. Lovely place to visit and live. I own rental property as well. So getting clear on what is the lead to be alchemized into gold in a waxing moon process. It's like, what are you going to strengthen? What are you going to build within yourself? So let's look at the light attribute, shall we? Humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning, right? So you get, particularly as an Aries, the baby of the zodiac, it's a good thing, where it's like, I have so much to learn, and it's lifelong learning, and I'm always going to be learning because we are learning every day. Even subconsciously, we're learning things we don't realize that we are learning. So a humility and a devotion to knowledge, right? It's like, okay, I know that I don't know. What is humility ultimately? It's like, okay, I don't know everything. I know that I don't know, but I'm willing to be shown. I have an openness and a devotion to knowledge, right? Feed me, right? Feed my mind, feed my heart, feed my soul the knowledge that it needs, sacred knowledge or mundane. Shadow attribute, arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge, like gaining knowledge to not just destroy. I mean, certainly creation, destruction is part of the cycle of life. But when you're gaining an arrogance about not caring about how the knowledge that you garner is used, right? No matter who it hurts, no matter what it destroys, that's some tricky shit there in the shadow. An unwillingness to translate knowledge into action, which is what I see a lot. Now, this is not to poo-poo anybody's personal way of doing things, but you can read all the books you want until you put it into practice. It's just words on a page, right? It's like, you know, people will take things personally, and I will know usually from conversations with them if they have read the 4 agreements. It's like, well, don't take anything personally, right? It's like, be impeccable with your word, don't take anything personally, make no assumptions, and do your best. It's like, well, did you read the 4 agreements? Yeah, of course I read the 4 agreements. I'm like, but you're making assumptions and taking things personally. Do your best. And they're like, oh, wow. It's like, that's the opportunity that, particularly with this power, you're being not tested, but you're in lessons of power as a student, right? So how to claim your power. And I would suggest the 4 agreements. I was just using that as an example. But certainly if you're going to read all these spiritual books and all of these practices and stuff, get clear that putting it into practice, right? Integrating it into your conduct, bit by bit, step by step. Nobody nails it day one. I've always said if Mikhail Baryshnikov did a perfect quadruple pirouette day 1 of rehearsals, first day ever in a ballet class, well, kind of screw him, right? It's like, that's not fair. Everybody else had to like twist and fall, right? So you practice, but you're learning about power here, and archetypes are all about power. Now, this is the card. It's not that it concerns me, but it is a very interesting and very mystical card. Well, really, all the major arcana cards are. They tend to be shrouded in mystery, hence the word arcana, secret, right? Now, if you look at these women, I do this every time this card comes up, it looks like they're sort of like at a woman's gathering. This is a feminist deck. I love this deck. And they're sort of like dancing around in a circle under the full moon. But if you look again, they are dancing around the navel of the great Earth Mother, right? The breasts in the foreground, pubic mound in the background. They're dancing around her navel. They're dancing on her belly, right? So that something is being revealed. Now, as I tune to this a little bit more, and we'll get to the other two, that something is being revealed about your own inherent power here. So this is not about power over. This could be certainly about spiritual power, mystical power, just because that's how I tend to read things. But I'm sensing this is also very much about emotional power. Because really there's love and fear. Every other emotion falls on a scale in between those two, right? Like the emotional guidance scale and that stuff. So your own emotional power is being revealed. Now, in terms of manifesting something, who knows? But with the card of intimacy here, this certainly may be about intimacy with another, and how better to learn power lessons and dynamics than through intimate relationships. We should call them crucifixion relationships. They're tricky, right? Any relationship structure, once it becomes intimate. Like somebody asked me, why do people lie? They lie because they're afraid if you saw the truth of who they were, you would run screaming, right? Or hate them. Where the truth is until we're vulnerable like that, our true power is never revealed. That this is not about the power of, you know, picking up a couch and hurling it across the yard, right? This is about an intimate power, an internal power that is being revealed. So this can certainly be about being intimate with yourself. Now, I don't necessarily mean in a sexual way, although you are Aries, ruled by the planet Mars, which symbol is a penis. If you didn't know that, I didn't make that up. That's just what it is, right? Just a circle with an arrow on it. Then kind of get that this can be intimacy with the self, intimacy with the soul, with the higher self, which is really good considering our whisper of love here is from the voice of the higher self, and its counsel is be willing to express love. When we express love, we begin to receive more love. So if that is the power that the student archetype in you, right? So it's not just about, okay, well, I read a book on loving myself. It's really, really wonderful. What do you think about me, right? It's like, whoa, slow your roll. Put it into practice. I love me. I love me. And I'm just using that as an example, but we're really kind of looking at more of an emotional power here, particularly with, right, be willing to express your love. That with this intimacy, make sure you're expressing that love to yourself first. Remember, you are a soul that chose and was chosen to play the role. Right, that you are in this life. The name, the birth date, the astrological everything, your serial number, your social security number, all of that you knew coming in, right? Who your family was, what your contracts are, you come here, you forget. So if you can kind of flip the script on that and say, okay, then let me play both positions, both the personality, right? The name of the personality here is Markangelo Lyons. But the higher self, the true self, some people call it the soul or the spirit. To me, at some point, it's all the same thing. Words, words, words. But when I can come from that place, right? When I can come from that place, like when Mark is having a bad day, when Mark is going through heartbreak, right? Or just frustration and impatience, to take a minute and go in and be intimate with the self. Remember, Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, first house, in the self, the ego, the personality. So to be intimate in that way and just be like, it's okay, I love you. Express that love, because once you do that, once you even start saying I love you to your own heart, which is a blessing upon all hearts because of fifth dimensional unity consciousness, the holographic reality of this world in all of its dimensions, all interwoven. There's even those that say, well, Matt Kahn in particular, great spiritual teacher, who says that our bodies are holograms of the entire universe, and and the heart is planet Earth. So every time you're lovingly intimate with your own heart, you're not just blessing all hearts, that's automatic. You're also blessing all of planet Earth, the great green emerald, the heart chakra, right? So it's something to contemplate there with your own intimacy. And then, of course, then as you express love, right? Be willing, not even say, do it, don't do it, be willing to express love. So even if you're not willing just yet, you could say, yeah, but I'm willing to be willing to express my love, and then see what comes up inside of you. I'd be like, no, right? No, they're gonna make fun of you, right? They're all gonna laugh at you. It's October. Oh, no. It's okay, little one. It's okay. I love you. You're not ready yet. That's okay. We don't have to do that right now, but I love you. And it's okay to be afraid, because what that fear is the love that does not know itself. It's sort of like a really tight flower bud that, as we love and accept it as it is, it gives it room to breathe, and it blooms. It's alchemy, and that's what archetypes are all about. Now wait till I do the Mercury retrograde reads. I'm going to do those after this series. Come on, it's Mercury retrograde in Scorpio. It's all about embracing the shadow. I have a feeling embracing the shadow is going to be in the title of that. So just to like quickie overview here to close it up, you've got the student archetype dealing with power lessons. What isn't, right? Particularly with archetypes. But something is being revealed, and maybe right in front of your eyes. It might be something, and yes, people can say that the Judgment card is about a final decision. Sure, once something is revealed, once something has come clear, you're like, oh, that's what that was. And then you complete the cycle, right? At the next card of this would be the World of the Universe, and this deck, Shakti, the life dancer, right? But there's something to do with intimacy here. So whether it's fear of intimacy, having intimacy with yourself, as we discussed there, and then parlaying that intimacy by being expressive, right? Of expressing your love to another. Now, they're also just saying no, that if you're not ready to express your love so verbally and overtly, even though you are a masculine sign, right? Fire sign, cardinal fire, say it, speak it, do it, put it into action. Do it silently through prayer, right? I love you. I love you. Like, do it to yourself, then do it to another, then do it to yourself, then do it to the element of water. You do it to yourself, you do it to a candle, you do it to yourself, you do it to new moon. That eventually just becomes this movement of divine love, really true love through you. Cool. So very lovely reading to kick these off with. I'm very pleased with it. I hope you are. And please like and subscribe if you have not yet already, because now that I am back from break, staying with Zeus and Hera, as I call my parents, literally living on a mountain in Saratoga, I am refreshed, recharged, renewed, and in a whole new life yet again, because no one rises from ashes quite like I do, because we all do it differently. Cool. Wishing you the very best and the very blessed of this new moon to full moon. So it's going to be new moon in Scorpio to full moon in Taurus in November. So wishing you the very best and the very blessed. Take a look at the description box downstairs. I'm really easy to book a reading with nowadays, because I'm doing it on Facebook and Skype. Unless you're local to, somewhere on Long Island, I'll drive, you drive, we'll figure it out. Cool. But for now, my blessed cardinal air signs, sorry, cardinal fire signs, Aries, that's tricky. Hail, farewell, and blessed be.